Welcome to Echoes of the Past. Tonight, we journey far from the glory of Roman emperors, far from marble columns and golden laurels. We go instead into the shadows, into the wet stone alleys and back rooms of ancient Rome, where the streets never quite lose their stink, and the work is always waiting. This is not the Rome of triumphs and togas, but of chamber pots, cracked amphorae, steaming vats of stale urine. Imagine yourself in another life. You are a Roman fullonica worker, a janitor of sorts. One of many who clean the empire's soiled linens, who scrub tunics for senators, who know the secrets of stains and smells. Tonight, we will follow your rhythm. We will walk in your sandals. We will rise before the sun and sleep beneath worn linen. Scene by scene, we'll wander through lives mostly forgotten, from the hard labor of Roman cleaners, to the mystery of ancient bathhouses, and to the quiet indulgences of the rich who rarely look down. Let the distant world of ancient grime lull you gently into rest. There is no need to stay awake, just breathe slowly, and imagine the past, one quiet detail at a time. You wake before the sun. The clay walls around you are still cold, and the air smells faintly of wet limestone and fermented ammonia. Your hands are already sore from yesterday's scrubbing, but there is no room for complaint. You have work to do. You are one of many full-loans laundry workers in the heart of Rome, the tunics of senators, the robes of priests, the linens of wealthy merchants. All of them must pass through your hands before they are clean again. You rise quietly from your mat, your sandals worn smooth at the heels. Your tunic is stiff with old soap. Streets outside are still dark, but the city never sleeps entirely. A baker stokes his oven. A cart creaks past with the sound of sloshing wine jugs. Far off, a dog barks. Or maybe it's just another drunk slumped against a wall. Your workshop is not far. It's small, square. It's open to the sky. It smells of lye and charcoal. In the corner sit wide stone basins, the fullonica, where garments are soaked in a peculiar cleaning solution, a mixture of water, chalk dust, and stale human urine. You don't mind the smell anymore. It's part of your day. It's part of the city. The urine is collected from public latrines. Sometimes it's your job to carry the sloshing jars. Sometimes you haul them up from the collection pots built into the streets. You walk carefully, trying not to spill. But the jars are slippery, the roads uneven. One wrong step, and the stench follows you all day. You begin by stomping. Inside the stone basin, you stand ankle-deep in the cold solution. The garments are soaked in it, and you step carefully on top. One foot, then the other. A rhythm forms. Soft, wet, slow. You hum to yourself. No one hears. The steam from the wet cloth rises in slow clouds. Hours pass like this, soaking, stomping, wringing out. Your fingers prune, your back aches. Sometimes the smell gets into your throat and you have to step away, but not for long. There are more garments waiting. Later in the day, you take them to the exidra, the finishing area. Here, the cloth is rinsed and brushed, beaten lightly with wooden paddles to loosen grit. You hang them to dry under the sun, folding them across ropes strung between wooden beams. When it's hot, the air is thick with the scent of old fabric and ammonia. When it's cold, the cloth dries stiff and cracks as you fold it. On good days, the master brings wine. So on better days, no one vomits into the wash barrels. The work continues, slow and steady. You scrub with clay. You bleach with sulfur. You brush the cloth with thistles. By afternoon, your arms are numb. You take a break beneath the olive tree, just outside the yard. You eat a crust of bread, hard and dry, dipped in vinegar. You watch ants moving across the stone. There's no rush. There never is. Evening comes softly. The city quiets. Cloth is clean, or clean enough. You wash your hands in a shallow dish. The water turns cloudy, gray. Your day is done, but it will begin again tomorrow, and again the day after that. As you close your eyes, you can still feel the cloth between your fingers, still smell the vats, still hear the creak of ropes swaying in the wind. Sleep comes slowly, but completely. You've earned it. Imagine you are not free. You belong to someone else. Not in spirit, not in soul, but by law and by name. You are known only as Marius, and your master is a magistrate of modest status, with greater ambitions than wealth. Your job is not one of violence, nor one of luxury. You serve Rome by way of shadows. By slipping through its stone veins, you are a sewer cleaner. Not much is recorded about you. There are no statues in your honor, no coins with your face, just a brief mention in a dusty scroll. Unearthed centuries later, its ink nearly gone. But still, you mattered. Your story begins during a rainy spring, sometime in the 1st century BCE. The Tiber had swollen after weeks of storms. Water poured down from the hills, through alleyways, and into the mouths of Rome's sewers. The Cloaca Maxima, the great drain, groaned beneath the strain. And there you were, lantern in hand, feet slick with sludge. The smell was something few dared imagine, an old, thick stench of rot and human waste, soaked into stone for generations. But you knew these tunnels. You knew which walls wept, which corners held nests of rats, which bricks had shifted in the last tremor. Something was wrong this time. You felt it before the others. Slow pressure, like the breath of a beast held just beneath the surface. The tunnel was clogged not with debris, but with collapse. A section of the sewer had caved in, deep beneath the Forum Hilitatorium, the vegetable market. Water backed up with nowhere to go, Fahal rising, inch by inch. Had it gone unnoticed much longer, the streets of Rome would have filled with filth. Markets flooded. Homes soaked with sewage, disease would follow, and panic. But you crawled in, lantern swinging softly, oil burning low. You climbed over crumbled stone, felt the wall with your hands. You retraced the flow. You climbed back out, covered in sludge, eyes red from fumes, and told your master what had happened. Quietly, calmly. No one wrote of your fear. No one praised your resolve. But the magistrate listened. He ordered a work crew, slaves with chisels and baskets, stonemasons, and a new support wall. The collapse was stopped. The sewer flowed again. Rome did not flood, and you returned to the dark. You cleaned what others could not bear to see. You kept walking, knee-deep in what they left behind, or not remembered, but you changed the city. Even now, some say the water in the Cloaca Maxima sounds different near that old repair. Quieter, smoother, as if something or someone made it right again. Imagine yourself stepping into warm mist. The air is thick with steam. Your skin, chilled from the street, begins to soften in the rising warmth. Around you, voices echo, low and calm, like murmured prayers bouncing off marble walls. You are in a Roman therme, a public bathhouse, a temple of cleanliness, of ritual, and quiet indulgence. You've come here many times not to bathe alone, but with others. Bathers come rich and poor, old and young, everyone drawn to the rhythm of Roman bathing. Your tunic is left in a cubby, your sandals tucked beside it. Slave hands you a strigil, a curved metal scraper. There is oil nearby, fragrant, thick. You rub it across your arms and chest, and then the scraping begins. You sit near a wall where stone is warm from the heat beneath. The floor of the caldarium, the hot room, is heated from below by fire. Fires that are tended day and night, by men you never see. The strigil glides across your skin, while sweat and dust collect and fall away. It is strange, almost satisfying. There is something both luxurious and ordinary in this place. It smells of olive oil and wet stone, of cedar wood, sometimes sulfur. In the next room, the tepidarium, water trickles from a bronze spout. You dip your hands into it slowly. It is neither hot nor cold, just warm enough to comfort tired joints. The frigidarium is where your journey ends. A pool of cold water, deep and still. You lower yourself in, slowly. Your breath catches, but only for a moment, and then quiet. Stillness, not unlike sleep. Now, we turn to another ritual, a less peaceful one, the Roman latrina, the public toilet. You may not think of it as ritual, but it was. Long stone benches lined with keyhole-shaped holes. No dividers, no privacy. Men and women sat side by side, chatting softly, conducting business, or simply listening. The holes connected to running water below, part of a carefully engineered system. Below your feet, water flowed constantly, a gentle gurgle from a nearby aqueduct. But there was more to this space. Channel ran along the front of the bench, where a sponge on a stick called a tersorium sat in salt water. You would use this carefully and replace it when done. Strange, isn't it? But to the Romans, it was simply routine. Archaeologists still puzzle over these places. So many bathhouses, so many latrines, some small, some grand enough to seat dozens. We still find graffiti carved into the stone. Crude jokes, lovers' initials, shopping lists. In the baths of Caracalla, tiles show scenes of sea creatures. Nymphs, philosophers, could bathe beneath mosaics of Neptune while slaves passed you towels. Why so much care for a place meant only to clean? Why so much beauty where no one stayed long? No one knows. But some say it was the rhythm of it all. That bathing, like eating or sleeping, was more than necessity. It was comfort. And in those tiled rooms, steam rising gently through painted ceilings, it's easy to see how Rome endured. The baths soothed the body. The routine soothed the mind. The water never stopped flowing. Now, in our final scene, we step away from the workers, the cleaners, the heat and labor, and we enter a different world entirely. The quiet comfort of a Roman elite's private villa, where linens are clean and silence is golden. Imagine yourself waking slowly. You are not rushed. The air is cool but comfortable. Sheer curtain moves gently in the breeze. Somewhere, a fountain murmurs. You lie on a wide couch in your villa, the walls painted with scenes of golden fields and lazy river gods. The scent of myrrh lingers faintly in the air. There is no alarm, no task waiting with urgency. A servant has already prepared warm water. Another lays out fresh linen. Your sandals are cleaned each evening. Brushed, aired, softened with oil. We're a Roman senator. Wealthy, respected, unhurried. Your home is in the hills above the city, far from the smells of the Subura, far from the smoke and shouting of the market. You do not know the name of the fullonica who laundered your robes. Only that they arrived folded, fresh, and faintly fragrant with lemon balm. Your day begins not with labor, but with choice. Do you visit the library today? Walk the colonnade and quote Cicero aloud to yourself? Or perhaps take breakfast on the terrace. Hard-boiled quail eggs, olives, and cold honey cakes arranged by careful hands. A young slave reads aloud from a scroll. Sound is soft, familiar. You close your eyes and listen to poetry you've already heard 100 times. Time moves differently here. Later, perhaps you'll bathe in your own balneum. A small, private bath fed by heated pipes, tiled in green glass. No crowds, no chatter. Just you and water and thought. Even work feels like leisure. In your atrium, a marble desk sits beneath a fresco of the Muses. You review letters brought in by courier. Ink flows slowly across parchment as you compose replies. Your handwriting is steady, your words measured. Later, a client arrives. A man from the city, nervous and sweating, his tunic poorly mended. He bows low. You offer him figs. You listen politely. You will consider his petition. You always consider. As the sun begins to sink, the villa glows gold. The mosaic floors, the carved friezes, the tall bronze lamps, all flickered gently in the warm light. Dinner is served in the triclinium, 3 couches surrounding a low table where friends and family recline. There is roasted duck in date sauce, grilled leeks with cheese, also a light wine sweetened with honey. Conversation is low and slow, laughter soft and rare. No one speaks of work. No one speaks of the poor. And yet somewhere not far away, a fullonica worker scrubs another robe. Sewer slave lights his lantern. Sponge is rinsed in salt water for the next latrine guest. The rhythm continues. You are not aware of it. Not really. The comfort you enjoy is built, each day on hands you do not see. And now, our journey draws to a close. From the soot and soap of the fullonica, to the flicker of torchlight deep beneath the streets, from the warm, echoing halls of the bathhouse to the perfumed quiet of the villa, we've wandered slowly, gently through a Rome that few remember, a Rome not of emperors or conquest, but of routine, of labor, of linen, oil, and water. Sleep now. Let these ancient rhythms carry you. The stone paths have cooled. The baths have emptied. The robes are folded, and waiting. And somewhere, a janitor begins again. Good night, traveler.